What's going on, guys? Smurf here with another video, and today we're going to be giving out some tips on how to wreck people in the Crucible with our badass Gunslinger class for the Hunter. Now, I got a pretty solid PvP build as well as some insight on just how to make the class really stand out. So, with that being said, why don't we just jump right into it? All right. Alright, let's get started on this. First thing I want to talk about for the Gunslinger class is, as far as all this goes, I don't really care what weapons you're using. As far as stats and stuff goes for this particular build, like I don't really focus it that much, but if it were me building a very specific build such as this, I would focus more on intellect and discipline because you're gonna want your grenades to be coming up as fast as possible, and your super is gonna be mainly the biggest damage deal you're going to be having throughout the Crucible, so your melee isn't really a high priority, so I would stick with these two. As far as gear goes, whatever exotics you have, if you don't have the I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. If you don't have that, the symbiote, then whatever one you have is good. Before I got it, I used to use the Bones of EO, which gave you a third jump, which was cool. It was whatever. But yeah, once you get this helm, it's the go-to. Having an additional golden gunshot is the best Crucible perk that you could have as far as gunslingers go. All right, so with that being said, let's get into the build. Okay, we got incinerator grenade, swarm grenade, and trip mines. And incinerator, I don't generally use in the Crucible. Swarm grenade is a very good grenade because it's like a good way to put a wall between you and the opponent. Like if you're, whatever. If you're trying to run away, if you drop that swarm grenade, just keep going. They can't really chase you because they'll get hurt or whatever, and then you can change the side of the battle. But usually I'm using the trip mine grenade because you just get so many kills with it. It's like having the Claymore in Call of Duty. It's that good. It doesn't last as long. It's not infinite like the Claymore where you can just use it until you kill somebody with it. But it's pretty solid. Like, it's got a far kill radius. It's a one-shot kill 90% of the time. So usually in the Crucible, I'm going trip mine. As far as these go, it's really up to you. I like the higher jump just by myself. A lot of people do the triple jump, but I just like jumping high, and I don't need the extra jump. With your golden gun, your options are, it's the one-shot kill, golden gun, Deadeye, increase the accuracy of the golden gun. Not really that useful. I don't find that I don't have trouble really hitting people with my golden gun, so it doesn't really need to be that much more accurate. Combustion is a really good one, especially in the Crucible, like when you're playing control and stuff like that, and you got multiple guys on the control point. Then you can hit one guy and cause a chain reaction. It's kind of like the bloom for the Warlock. It's a really good one. I myself I just stick with Gunfighter because it reduces the cooldown overall of the golden gun. So the more golden guns that I'm getting, the more shots in total, the better off I think I am. So I'm usually sticking with Gunfighter. Throwing knife. This is it's a weird talent because I like throwing knife because it's a cool thing. It's a cool way to kill people. It's just like a vanity kind of thing for me. Like whatever. I like throwing knives at people's faces, but I don't like how it's not a one-shot kill. I think it should be a one-shot kill. Just like, you know how Call of Duty is and stuff like that, where if you knife somebody or you hit them with a ballistic, you should kill somebody. Because it's kind of hard to throw a throwing knife. I mean, people make it look easy, but it's hard to do in the heat of the battle because everything's so fast-paced in this game. So I kind of think it should be a one-shot kill. But anyway, you got the Circle of Life, which is basically useless in the Crucible because if you have Golden Gun up, you're not going to be trying to kill people with a throwing knife. You're just going to fucking shoot them in the face. So it's stupid. I wouldn't even use it in PvE, really. It's ridiculous. You have Incendiary Blade and then Knife Juggler. Now, Knife Juggler, if you get the headshot, if you get a precision kill with it, it'll give you it'll just immediately reset and give you another knife. And that's really cool. It's a really good PvE talent. But as far as the Crucible goes, you don't find yourself in a situation where you could just be kind of spamming knives in people's faces. Because, like I said, it's not a one-shot kill. You'll do 75% damage, but unless you have two guys that are right in front of you that are both half damaged, which, it happens, but it's just, it's kind of few and far in between. You're not really getting that much out of having an extra knife. So I like to stick with the incendiary blade because it puts damage over time, no matter where you hit the guy. So it just helps out. There's a lot of times where if I throw a knife just for the fucking throwing a knife, and then if it does 75% or whatever, and then the burn starts hitting them, I usually get a free kill out of that. So I try to stick with that. Whatever kind of stats you want, up to you guys. These 6 are kind of easy, actually. Scavenger. Scavenger's a good one for when you don't have everything else unlocked. I like it. Just having reducing the cooldown of your grenades and throwing it just by picking up ammo. I mean, you don't really pick up that much ammo in the Crucible. That's kind of why you don't really use it, but in PvE, it's really helpful. You got Keyhole and Gunslinger's Trance. Gunslinger's Trance you're not going to use in the Crucible. You'll use in PvE occasionally if you want to use it over Scavenger, but you're not going to use that in Crucible. It just doesn't really help that much. You have stat boosts on your weapon that do that. You don't need more stability. Keyhole, having the golden gun over penetrate and hit multiple targets is fucking so valuable in the Crucible. Because if you got 2 or 3 guys in a line or hanging out, having Keyhole makes it so you don't really need combustion. Because if you have a Keyhole and you're shooting at a group of people, odds are it's going to go through one person, hit the other guy, and you're going to get a double kill anyway. So that's why I usually don't. I go with Gunfighter over Combustion, because if I have Keyhole up anyway, it doesn't really matter. These 3, you got Chain of Woe, Over the Horizon, and Gambler's Dagger. Chain of Woe is really more of a PvE thing. I've seen people have it like whatever in the Crucible and doing stuff with it, but it's just one of those things like having like non-permanent buffs, like something that only lasts like 15 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever, and it's just a reload buff, something that most weapons have or most gauntlets, whatever their gloves have. It's just like you don't really need it. Over the Horizon increases the range of the golden gun, and I haven't really noticed a severe difference when I have it off. Just because maybe just because I'm not shooting. You shouldn't be shooting, trying to hit people across the map with your golden gun unless you're just fucking with them. But it really doesn't matter. I haven't seen a huge difference in using increased range. So that's why it kind of defaults to Gambler's Dagger. Because having another knife is, why not? It's just like having another grenade, pretty much. It's, you know what I mean? And that also helps out so that you don't really need the knife juggler, because if you have 2 knives anyway, you can just double tap knives and get your kill like that. So, yeah, that's my overall build for this. And this is Crucible only. If you're going to do PvE, you can mix it up for yourself. But I found that this is the most effective build that you could have. Alright, boring part's over. Let's get right into this, and we'll start by talking about the Golden Gun. Now, the Golden Gun is the Gunslinger Super, and the first thing I want to say about it, as well as just the Hunters in general, is that their super abilities require a little bit more strategy than, let's say, the Voidwalker or the Titan. They're not entirely just kind of pop super and kill everybody in your sight. You really got to time when and where you put your super. A good strategy is to always pop it and then run right to where heavy ammo is when it's spawning, or wait till you see the control point getting taken and then kind of pop it and then run in. What you don't want to do is you don't want to pop your super in the middle of battle, because the time that it takes just to kind of, when you raise your gun up like a fucking idiot, that time is just time that you're just kind of open to fire. So you kind of want to just... What I like to do is I like to get into an engagement and kind of assess the situation, see if there's 2, 3 people. Then I kind of back out, get around a corner, and then pop my super after my shield's up, after I'm ready to go in and re-engage. You know what I mean? Because this way you can kind of see what's going on, see where everybody is, get a feel for it, walk out of there, pop super, come back in and fuck everybody up, and they are not ready for it at all. You know what I mean? They just think you're a normal guy, and then you come out with your golden gun and start fucking people up. So it's always a good idea just to kind of have a feel of what's going on in the battlefield before you pop your super with the Hunters. Alright, next thing we're going to talk about is the throwing knife. Now, it's really important for you guys to just know that the throwing knife is not a one-shot kill. This isn't Call of Duty, this is Destiny. And as long as you have that in your head that it's not going to kill somebody with like just that, then you can at least have a strategy in your mind to use it right. Because the correct way to use it is kind of like initiate the fight, maybe get a shot or two off on the guy, and then throw it at him, because it's got unlimited range pretty much, as long as you know how to throw the knife right. If you could hit somebody with the knife, you instantly change the tide of the battle, because their melees don't really work against a hunter that can knife them, you know what I mean? So just know that it's not going to kill them, but as long as you do a little bit of damage, if you hit them with that knife, they're done. Alright, and the last thing that we're going to talk about today is our trip mine grenades. Now, the key word with this is utility. You want to, when you watch what I do right here with the trip mine, I kind of lay it out, wait to see where he's poking. I kind of bait him into running the other way, and I get my kill. It's really important to know that, like, it's going to stay there for like maybe 20 seconds, I think, is about how long it lasts, but you can kind of place traps for your enemy, and that's the difference between the hunter class and a lot of the other classes. So if you know where to put it, like I like to put it on the corners of doors, or right around corners where people can't really see, because it's very visible. It's a really large blinking light, so it's hard to trick people. You kind of have to let them walk into it themselves. Alright, that's all I got for you guys today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment on the board, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. If you want to see some more Destiny or other video game footage, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be around. I'm going to be putting a lot more content out. So until next time, guys, thanks a lot. Peace.
Good work.